when you want medicine delivered to your home.
Check Atlantic Health.
That's right. All your answers are as close as Atlantic Health Pharmacy, your community pharmacy. And guess what? We offer 24-hour delivery service with free delivery in St. George's. Just call us. Our physical store is located in Parade, St. Paul's, opposite Anvil Supermarket. Open on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on weekends from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We offer a wide range of prescription medicines, herbal supplements, and medical supplies like vitamins, nebulizers, first aid kits, and scrubs. A pharmacist and doctor are always available to answer any questions you may have. Visit us or call 415-5660 and speak with our experienced team today. Atlantic Health Pharmacy, around the corner, ahead of the curve.
CaribJet, the most experienced travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Morris Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Refer a friend and get $50 cash back for you and $50 cash back for your friend on loans of $3,000 and over at Quartz Ready Cash. Plus, you get flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Apply now. Visit shopquartz.com. The more friends you refer, the more cash back. What are you waiting for? Make every moment count with a loan from Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Monday the 28th of August. The news headlines come to you in association with Quartz Grenada Limited.
Let the family fun days continue. At Courts, we have what you need to kick the vacation time into high gear. Large screen TVs, comfy indoor and outdoor furniture, grills, pools, and more. And you can shop today with no cash and pay us later. Ask us about our Super Shield extended warranty that protects your purchases for up to 4 years. So enjoy more family fun days. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends August 23rd, 2023. Special conditions apply.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in the news this evening, Grenadians expressed frustration over island-wide power outage earlier today. And with day 5 of extreme heat, forecasters say dress right and stay hydrated. A record number of applications at TAMCC following the removal of tuition fees. And in sport, GFA investing in its local match officials with a weekend camp. We'll have details to those and other stories coming up for you. Look too at the public forecast information. So right after the break, stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to your compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. An island-wide power outage had many on pause for about 3 hours this afternoon, Monday. Mere minutes after the electricity went off, an apology was posted on Grenlec's Facebook page, indicating that the outage had resulted from an issue at the Queen's Park generation plant. While many Grenadians took to social media to express their displeasure and frustration. Grenlec further assured the public, though, that they are responding urgently to restore electricity services to all customers as soon as possible. Electricity was permanently restored to most areas at around 4:30 this afternoon. It's day 5 of a heat wave affecting Grenada, with temperatures greater than 31.7 degrees Celsius. An advisory, therefore, from the Meteorological Office is saying the extreme heat is partly due to the continued development of tropical cyclones during the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. Troy Gill has more.
A bulletin from the Meteorological Office advises that models continue to indicate light winds, relatively high temperatures, and low to no rainfall as Grenadians face day 5 of extreme heat. Our news team spoke with forecaster at the Met Office, Andre Charles, who revealed what may be the cause for this prolonged climatic condition.
What can be the cause? There are several factors that can account for this level of high temperature. from the light winds to the few clouds in the sky and the reduction in the rainfall, and also the region and to some extent the cyclones that were developed in the Atlantic over the past few days can also play that part.
According to Charles, they are unable to say how long the heat wave will last. However, they encourage individuals to dress appropriately, stay hydrated, limit alcohol intake, avoid closed spaces, and look out for the young and the elderly. Nutritionist for St. George, attached to the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, Akim Williams, also shared what should be the best approach to survive this phenomenon.
What we do know with a heat wave is that we're experiencing a time of higher temperatures, and so what that's going to cause, that's going to cause actually is going to cause us to lose a lot more water. One, by sweating, because that's the body's way of cooling down the body, and by breathing, we're losing the water when we breathe. So what we're trying to do is we want to replenish that, but we also want to make sure that we're not allowing ourselves to go for prolonged hours being potentially dehydrated. How we can pay attention, how we can know, we can look at our urine when we go to the bathroom. Once not bright yellow, it needs to be kind of pale, whitish, kind of off yellowish, that kind of a color. But you want to make sure that it's not bright, dark yellow, because then that means that we need to take a little bit more.
Alcohol and caffeinated beverages can act as diuretics and lead to dehydration, Williams says, and must be avoided or consumed in reduced quantities. The recommended water intake on an average day is 8 glasses. However, Williams says during a heat wave, one should consume even more.
So understanding that, I think with the climate, we want to make sure we get adequate amount of water. 8 cups of water is not going to cut it in this time. We want to go a little above to about 11 to about 15 thereabout. So 11.5 cups for women, and for men about 15.5 will be adequate. And it's not just water alone. We can do teas, we can do soup, we can dilute our water with fresh fruit juices so that we can get those electrolytes in, as a way of making sure that we remain hydrated during the period of the heat wave.
A heat wave is described as 2 or more consecutive days with temperatures 31.7 degrees Celsius or above. The first advisory from the Met Office was issued on the evening of Thursday, August 24th. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
Monday, the 28th of August, that marked the start of registration for prospective students of the T.A. Marichaud Community College, TAMCC, and the institution is reporting a large number of applications. Officials attribute this influx to the government's decision to remove tuition fees for the new school year, as we hear now from Donella Houston.
Prospective students turned out in their numbers at the T.A. Marichaud Community College for the first day of registration on Monday. Registrar at the college, Marva Bowen Neptune, during an interview with our news team, reported an influx of applications, which she attributes to the removal of tuition fees at the institution.
What we see now is influx of applications because, of course, with the free tuition, students are now realizing it is very affordable, so they are applying now. And we also seen that now that they have the results, they're able to get into the programs. Sometimes they don't want to apply unless they know they met the requirements. Some students don't want to apply into the other programs because they really want to do the associate degree.
The registrar also used the opportunity to speak about the registration process, which will run throughout the week.
All students who sit the CSEC exams and students who sit it maybe previous years and they want to attend TAMCC, they can come in this week. We're here from Monday to Friday from 9 to 3 p.m. We can do next week, but we wouldn't have that formal setup. The students can apply into TAMCC for late registration up to 2 weeks into the semester.
Bowen Neptune says there are some prerequisites needed to successfully apply.
You must have 5 subjects, including English, to be accepted into the associate degree programs. However, we want students to understand, or prospective students to understand, that if they do not have the 5 subjects, including English, they can get into other programs as well. So we have 1-year certificate program that they can applied to, and then while they're in this program they can work on the deficient subject or subjects, and by next year they can get into the associate degree program.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hoston.
Local artist Nashon Jeremiah unveiled his underwater mural at the Prickly Bay Marina on Tuesday. The mural, created by himself and 2 other artists, is inspired by his admiration of marine life.
That mural drew my inspiration from the awe-inspiring beauty of the underwater world. You know, we know Grenada for the paradise with beautiful white sand beaches, you know, and it's basically a tribute to the delicate balance of the marine life and all the hidden wonders that are beneath our waves, right? I wanted to capture the serenity and the vibrancy of the ocean. My major goal was to bring that experience on land for persons who may not be able to go under there.
Jeremiah's works are already displayed throughout the island, and according to him, his pieces are well received. He says that he's always open to new ideas and projects that can create lasting impressions.
I'm always asking persons for ideas, so where I could show off my country as, you know, the best, one of the best places in the Caribbean, you know, because like when it comes to culture alone, the concept, it holds profound significance, right? And when it comes to the different parts in culture, like the experiences of belief, traditions and values, all the different things there that makes up our society, you know, as an artist, you can be bombarded by all these ideas, you know, but figuring out where's the best place that would attract.
Jeremiah is passionate about empowering younger creatives.
And I have to say that we work along with local artists. We actually hire local artists, you know, and we give them a monthly salary, because we have some artists who just want to focus on the creative side. And then you have those who want to do the business and the creative. But our doors are always open for persons who just want to be creative, so they can join a team of persons who are fully invested in showcasing what our island has, you know, for persons who have never been here before, or persons who just love the whole essence of the culture and the heartbeat of our humanity.
It's the MTV Evening News Monday. That's the first segment. We'll be back with more right after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Macnic?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes. When you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Ring, 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 back to school learning. Accel Finance help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan, help your kids start right. Backpacks, the uniform is on. Accel Finance will let them to succeed. No worries, no stress. We got your back at the Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school learning. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school learning. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards, tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. A U.S. couple brings visitors to Grenada shores for a transformation vacation workshop series so that they can improve their lives and businesses while experiencing the island. And they reveal plans to build a luxury resort catering to locals and visitors alike. But let's hear more in this report.
Ian and Rose Burke, a couple based in the US and owners of Burke Business Consulting Firm, hosted a 5-day transformation vacation workshop on business and investment at Koyaba Hotel, which ended on Saturday. According to Ian Burke, they chose to host the event in Grenada because of the amazing time they had during their first visit to the island and found it necessary to share that experience with others.
One of the reasons why I brought people here is just so that they can experience what I experienced, because when you look at people's lives and you listen to their stories, as life and business coaches, we hear stories all day and you just hear the bind and we recognize it. But when we came here, our knot became loose, and there are folks who we brought here already that's like, man, I already feel the knobs turning in a different direction. And that's what we want, because that's what Grenada is. It's a spice island, but it's also spice for your soul and for your life. That's what I love about it.
Rose Burke shared the details of the 5-day workshop, which caters for business owners and entrepreneurs to learn insights on how to improve their lives and business while on vacation.
So what we have here, we call it the transformation vacation. A lot of people come on vacation, they go home tired because of all the activities. But the thing that we were trying to do is not just have a vacation. We were really trying to change the mindset and change lives. We have 19 participants here that we brought to the country to really not just experience the country, but really experience a change in mindset. So we have 2 sessions per day. Our first session starts either 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., where we're talking today. We spoke about the success blueprint,
how to be successful in your life, which will translate to any business or passive income that you have. Our second session, which will start at 3 p.m. today, for an hour, we are talking about passive income. So if you need extra income, everyone needs it, right? Everyone could use some extra income. This is a session that you need to be a part of.
The couple is in the process of building a luxury boutique hotel that will cater to visitors and locals who wish to improve their business and personal lives in a relaxed atmosphere.
Currently, we're using the Koyaba Hotel to do our transformation vacation, but we currently have a building that's going through planning. We're going to name it Exordium.
It starts for new beginnings, that's what it means?
Yeah, Exordium means the start of
St.
something
Kirkland
new.
Park.
And we are going to really use that building to facilitate and help people transform their life and business, teaching them business acumen, the coaching them to be better steward of finances, better steward of time, so that they are able to grow.
The aim is to complete the construction of the hotel at Kirkland Park by 2025. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
One club in St. Andrew is celebrating over 50 years of existence with several activities, including pausing to reflect on its accomplishments and the journey thus far. And they vow to continue their commitment to volunteer service in the community. We hear more on it from Troy Gill.
Members of the Lions Club of St. Andrew are in celebratory mode in commemoration of their 52nd anniversary under the theme Embracing Life Through Service. Marketing and Communications Chair of the club, Melinda Ramsey, highlighted some of the activities they held thus far in observing this milestone achievement.
First, we began with a church service at the St. Martin de Porres Roman Catholic Church last Sunday at Crushu. Additionally, we came together with our sister club, which is the Leo Club of St. Andrew, to a social. We have also planned to donate sanitary bins and school supplies, which we plan to complete by the first week of the reopening of school. Then, we also did a health and fitness exercise session, which was held at the Grenville Car Park with Officer Larry, and that was very successful. And to top up the health and wellness, the club visited the Grand Bras Medical Station this morning, where a variety of fruits were distributed along with bottled water. And we also had the opportunity to speak with some of the visitors and the patients at the medical station.
Ramsey says the Lions Club boasts of being one of the most active in the parish, and their contributions have impacted many lives.
We are the sponsors of the St. Andrew Leo Club, which is going on its 32nd year now. We have done a lot in terms of our projects, and one of our signature projects is feeding of the destitute at least quarterly. Additionally, we have supported and adopted 2 of our preschool, which is in St. Andrew, which is the SAB preschool and the Fords preschool.
The club's marketing and communications chair further highlighted some of their goals and aspirations.
Some of the club's aspirations and goals going into the new Lionistic year is that we're looking forward to working with everyone, especially the non-governmental organizations, and we look to focus on key areas. Some of the areas includes hunger, youth, the environment, cancer, vision, the elderly, and so forth. And once again, we would like to extend a hearty thanks to the help and the assistance of the community for persons who have donated, and for persons, the prospective persons who are looking to join the Lions Club. We welcome you in open arms. We would like to say a happy 52nd anniversary to the Lions Club of St. Andrew.
The Lions Club is a global service organization dedicated to humanitarian efforts, volunteerism, and community service. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
Managing Director of the 12 Degrees North, 61 Degrees West Grenada Film Festival, Meshida Phillip, is encouraging Grenadians to be a part of the creative journey documenting Grenada's history and culture. Organizers say that there's lots in store for this year's festival, guarded for the 24th through the 29th of October. We have more in this report.
October 2023 marks the 5th anniversary of the 12 Degrees North, 61 Degrees West Grenada Film Festival, and founder and managing director Mashida Phillip says there's a lot in store this year for patrons. During an interview with MTV News on Friday, Phillip said this is an opportunity for Grenadian filmmakers and content creators to showcase their work and connect with regional and international creators.
There is a lot in store this year. So we have shifted our focus a bit as a festival to kind of go with where we are as far as our growth. So this year we are focusing on 5 pillars within the festival. Of course, film is one of those pillars. Music is another one of the pillars. Education is a big thing for us, and the digital immersive experiences is huge for us because I'm a big techie as well. And I think if we're going with the way things are going with AI and robotics and how those things are fusing with film, I think this is the perfect year to introduce.
According to Phillip, they are hoping for greater interest and involvement from Grenadian filmmakers and content creators.
We're encouraging more of those submissions to come in because we feel that this is something that was birthed locally in Grenada by Grenadians, and the idea here is to be able to promote the creators that are Grenadian-based.
The festival is open to anyone who creates content through pictures or words that can showcase Grenada's rich culture.
Content from the various categories: animation, documentary, fiction film. If you're in drone photography and you can tell a story about our culture, our history with drone photography, we welcome drone photography as well. If you're creating things on your mobile phone and you have something that a rich story that you can share with our community, we encourage you to submit it as well. So we made the process very easy for people to participate and have their work being seen. We also have a category for music videos.
The deadline for submission of films is August 31st, and the festival is carded for October 24th to 29th, 2023. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
That's the second segment of the news for the final Monday of August 2023. We'll be back with you after the break.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards: Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards, tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home. The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add add the multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with multi-X added to playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Business in 3 comes to you in association with GIDC, empowering the Spice Isle.
It's the MTV Evening News Monday. In this week's Business in 3, we hear from Alicia Benjamin, Facilities Assistant at the GIDC, as she updates us on extensions to be conducted at Frequenty Industrial Park.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this week's edition of MTV's Business in 3, sponsored by the GIDC. I am your host, Donella Hosten. Today, we are speaking with Miss Alicia Benjamin, and she is the Facilities Assistant at the GIDC. Now, Miss Benjamin is going to be speaking a little bit about the new commercial space that will be added to the Frequenty Industrial Park. Welcome, Miss Benjamin.
Thank you, Donella. So the Grenada Investment Development Corporation has secured funding from the Caribbean Development Bank for the construction of a new commercial complex at its Frequenty Industrial Park. Now, construction is expected to start in the fourth quarter of 2023, and that is from October through December. The building will be 2 stories. Each floor will measure 20,000 square feet. It would be an open concept, meaning that persons, or the space rather, can be customized to suit the prospect needs. So for example, if Tom wants a space that measures 5,000, Tom can secure that space, while if Jane wants to secure 10,000 for her business, she can go ahead and get that space. The first floor of the building would be accessible via elevator and steps. The ground floor would be primarily for persons within the manufacturing industry, as well as some manufacturing and warehousing would be on the ground floor, and the first floor will house office space. It would be for the purpose of office. In terms of prices are competitive. And it's important to note that the GIDC offers the lowest rental rate on the island. So prices are competitive. For persons who are interested in securing space, can call us. Our telephone number is 444-1035, or you can send us an email at purefacilities@gidc.gd. And so our new commercial complex, it will be housed at our Frequenty location. And the location, as you know, it's quite central. It's a convenient location. So just to mention some of the amenities and features that's already at our Frequenty facility, that includes 24-hour security, adequate lighting, parking availability, washroom facility. We have our cafeteria. It's within close proximity to our seaport and ports. So for persons, interested in the business, who want to secure, these are things that you have to take into consideration when choosing a location.
So there we have it, guys. We were speaking to Miss Alicia Benjamin, and she is the Facilities Assistant here at the GIDC. Thank you, Miss Benjamin. So, guys, this is where we say good evening and thank you for viewing MTV's Business in 3. I am your host, Donna the Hostan.
It's the MTV Evening News. Regional highlights are next.
Business in 3 came to you in association with GIDC, empowering the Spy Side.
Do you have or plan to start a business or project in the agribusiness, tourism, health and wellness, ICT, or energy sectors? You too can qualify for investment incentives such as duty-free concessions, tax credits, and tax waivers and exemption. Just fill in the application form, submit all the relevant documents, and your application can be processed in as little as 7 days. It's that simple. Contact us today to know more about investment incentives.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back. Let's now join Clifton James for this evening's Regional Roundup.
With the Regional Roundup, I am Clifton James. Over in Trinidad and Tobago, a 50-year-old man is currently warded at the Chaguanas Hospital after he was reportedly shot by his son-in-law. The suspect, a 34-year-old man as well as a 25-year-old woman, have since been arrested in connection with the incident and are expected to appear before Chaguanas magistrate today. The incident took place at about 6 p.m. on Saturday along Church Street, Freeport. The victim told police that he got into an argument with the 34-year-old, during which the suspect pulled out a gun and shot at the 50-year-old. The victim felt burning sensations in his right leg and realized he'd been shot. He fell to the ground and raised an alarm. The suspect ran into a gold Nissan Tiida, which was parked nearby, and drove off. The victim was conveyed to the Couva Health Facility, where he was treated, stabilized, and then transferred to the Chaguanas Hospital. The police were notified and a team of officers led by Sergeant Harriet and PC Toll responded. The officers received key intelligence which led them to Balmain Main Road, Couva, where the vehicle was intercepted. In the presence of the two occupants, the police searched the car and found and seized a Smith & Wesson revolver loaded with 2 rounds of .38mm ammunition. The opposition is encouraging pilots assigned to Caribbean Airlines Limited, CAL, as well as other groups who are oppressed by the government to stand up against being bullied. Making the call was UNC Senator David Naheed, who stated that people had enough while speaking at a press conference which was held by the opposition at its office in Port of Spain on Sunday. These Cal pilots and other sectors who our government continues to oppress, our teachers, our nurses, our fire officers, our policemen, they need to come out and say to Rowley, enough is enough, Kahid advised. About a week ago, scores of Cal pilots called in sick, leaving thousands of passengers at the Piarco International Airport stranded as wage negotiations continue between the pilots and the government. Referring to this matter, Nahid said the UNC would seek the best interests of the pilots as possible. We would not have the indignity of seeing this here, the indignity of seeing you all laid off, not treated like the working class you aspired to become. You are not being placed slowly into the poor working class, he added. Florida residents loaded up on sandbags and evacuated from homes in low-lying areas along the Gulf Coast as Tropical Storm Idalia intensified Monday, and forecasters predicted it would hit within days as a major hurricane with potentially life-threatening storm surges. As the state prepared, Idalia thrashed out Cuba with heavy rains, especially in the westernmost part of the island, where the tobacco-producing province of Pinar del Rio is still recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Ian almost a year ago. Authorities in the province issued a state of alert, and residents were evacuated to friends' and relatives' homes as authorities monitored the Cuacajeje River for possible flooding. As much as 10 centimetres, 4 inches of rain fell in Cuba on Sunday, meteorological stations reported. Idalia is expected to start affecting Florida with hurricane-force winds as soon as late Tuesday and arrive on the coast by Wednesday. It is the first storm to hit Florida this hurricane season and a potentially big blow to the state, which is also still recovering from Ian. We just got to prepare for these things, hope for the best and prepare for the worst and, hunker down, as they say, said Derek Hughes as he waited to load up his car with sandbags at a city park in Tampa. The worst case is flooding right now. Hopefully, not too much wind damage. You're up to date with the Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James.
It's the MTV Evening News Monday. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sporting highlights are next.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, When you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Grendek Community Partnership Initiative.
The classrooms that were refurbished as a result of this project really were not conducive to installing ICT into the classroom. Many of the windows were not functional. The security to the actual rooms themselves were insufficient. At the Maribor campus, the roof was also termite infested. The college is extremely appreciative of the contribution of Grendek to this project to really enhance learning through the use of information and communications technology.
GFA investing in its local match officials with a weekend camp. That highlight and more coming up in our sporting segment right after the break.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Get it up to your inner move. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
Good evening to you, sporting fans. Let's turn things over to Donella Holston. She has the very latest sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. Grenada's decathlon champion Lyndon Victor placed third in the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, with a final score of 8,756 points, making it a national record and the first medal for Grenada in the decathlon category. In an interview with Decathletes of Europe after the final event, Lyndon said he is grateful to finally place in the decathlon in a championship.
Like you know, I feel multiple times I've major championships. Fouled out in the discus in 2017. Fouled out in the discus 2019. Break the championship, break it, and win a bronze medalist. That's something in it. Just a testament of perseverance and bouncing back from failure, you know. I wouldn't change anything from the last 4 years, from all my failures in the World Championships, because this medal feels like a gold medal to me because of all what I've had to go through, you know, to get to this point. So I'm just blessed, especially the way the season started with my hernia and I couldn't run. I was so frustrated and my team was just behind me the whole time, modifying practice, just trying to see whatever we can do.
The Grenada Netball Association is set to have their Tri-Series tournament between Grenada and Trinidad male and female teams on September 15th and 17th nightly at 6 p.m. at the Tantine Hard Court. President of the Grenada Netball Association, Liebert Alexander, in an interview with MTV Sports, spoke about the readiness of the Grenada netball team and the ECCB International Netball Series.
At the moment, both national teams are under training. We've been training for over 2 months plus at the Tantine Netball facilities with Coach Katian Gabriel and Mr. Pecos Lewis. The teams are looking good. We're trying our best. The females are basically preparing for the ECCB International Netball Series, and that would be done with 9 teams participating. Grenada is in the mix, and they're in a position where they can and would do well, right? So they're actually preparing for that tournament. and the Tri-Series is a stepping stone for them towards that tournament.
Grenada's Nina James placed 5th in the female 16 to 19 triathlon and a podium finish in 2nd place for the female 16 to 19 aquathlon. Cody Sylvester placed 10th in a very competitive male 16 to 19 triathlon and aquathlon at the 2023 Carifta Triathlon and Aquathlon Championships, which took place from August 26th to 27th, Goodsman Bay, Nassau, Bahamas. Nina and Kobe also competed in the mixed country relay teams. Over 140 athletes from Aruba, Antigua, Bahamas, Barbados, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Grenada took part in the events. West Indies Rising Stars men under-19s team had their first taste of action in Sri Lanka on Friday when they faced the Sri Lanka Cricket Select under-19 11 at Colombo Cricket Club. The West Indies lost by 3 wickets in a close contest in the warm-up match ahead of the Youth ODI series against Sri Lanka under-19. A half-century by all-rounder Nathan Seeley was topped by an unbeaten 84 from Sapun Wadaj that led the hosts to victory. Seeley struck 2 4s and 2 6s in the top score of 54 from 71 balls before the visitors were bowled out for 227 in 48.2 overs in the 50-over aside. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donella, for the latest sporting highlights there. And viewers, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you and then a recap of the main stories.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We have the will to overcome. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Monday evening, viewers, and back with the nighttime weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Wayne Williams. Another very hot day throughout the Eastern Caribbean today, even though we did have some clouds around. Most of those clouds coming in from the northeast into the region, and we continue to see them doing that. But let's take a look at the tropical storms that we do have out there at the moment. In the far western Caribbean, so we have the tropical storm Ideala. It is moving towards the north, expected to move over the western tip of Cuba and into Florida. We also have Hurricane Franklin, again moving a bit to the north with a slight east-northeasterly or north-northeasterly direction is expected to affect Bermuda. Then in our area, we have 2 tropical waves heading our way. The first one has an area of significant convection associated with it, an area of showers and some embedded thunder showers. Upper-level winds, however, are preventing it from developing further, but we could see those conditions affecting the southern Caribbean maybe even from tomorrow. The second tropical wave in the far eastern Atlantic moving our way, some convection also with it. Again, upper-level winds are not favorable for development as that system moves towards the island chain. Right now, the area of cloudiness associated with the tropical wave, that is the main area that we are looking at. But as I said, upper level winds are not favorable for development. However, there's a strong possibility that it still could move into the southern Caribbean, bringing showers on Tuesday, possibly Wednesday also. The forecast for Monday night, generally fair condition. There is about a 40 to 50% chance of some brief pop-up showers. They'll be brief and light. The winds expected to be easterly between 8 and 18 miles per hour. Minimum temperature again still on the warm side, 25. The moon rose at 4:32 this afternoon. It's going to set at 4:17 in the morning, and between that time we should see some nice moonlight. Look for those showers to move into the area possibly Tuesday afternoon. That's after a relatively partly cloudy start to the day. So the showers are expected to develop coming into the afternoon. A 70% chance of that happening. Winds will remain easterly between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Seas picking up a bit moderate, 4 to 5 foot waves. Sunrise is 5:56. The sun is going to set at 6:19. Another hot day, 32. It will feel much hotter, like 32. Port of Spain, Bridgetown and Kingston are all expected to see scattered showers. Afternoon showers in Miami, morning showers in New York. London should be partly cloudy. If those showers do develop on Tuesday afternoon, there's a possibility that they could continue sporadically overnight, and 1 or 2 could still be left over into Wednesday. So there is a 50% chance of some showers on Wednesday. Partly cloudy conditions for Thursday, but fair conditions are expected to return from Friday. There is also the chance of some slight haze developing by the early part of the weekend. That is it for me for Monday night, folks. Have yourself a great night, and join me again on Tuesday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news for Monday, a recap of the headlines. Grenadians have expressed frustration over an island-wide power outage this afternoon. Day 5 of extreme heat, and so forecasters are saying continue to dress right and stay hydrated. A record number of applications at TAMCC following the removal of tuition fees. And in sport, GFA investing in its local match officials with weekend camp. We've had details to those and other stories, a look to at the public forecast information. So it's been a part of the evening news for the final Monday of August 2023. And so now on behalf of the news and production departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for viewing and wish you a good night.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Anne-Marie Joseph, also known as Valerie Coutain and Val, of the Limes Grandons, who resided at Frequenty St. George, passed away on Thursday, 27th July 2023, at the age of 68. She was the wife of Leslie Joseph, mother of Leslie Jr., Alvin and Wendell in Grenada, Shanti and Emily in Canada. grandmother of Kayla, Alvin, Carmel, Amy, Ebony, Adrian, Zakira, Zanisha, Tristan, and Lashana. Great-grandmother of Marius and Anika, sister of Kenny Coutain and Denise George in Canada, Deanne Lake and Susie Coutain in Antigua, Maureen Grell in St. Thomas, Edmie Bain, Christopher and Irva Coutain in the USA, Hilaire Andrew, Dottie and Leslie Ann Coutain in Grenada, niece of Amelia Charles, mother-in-law of Perrin Joseph, sister-in-law of Gabriel Andrew, Desmond George, Rhonda and Daniel Coutain, and Erlyn Bain, aunt of many including Randy, Elon, Andy, Yosha, Kim, Francis, Jesse, Carvel, Kevin, and Arlene. Many cousins including Angela and Jacqueline Coutain. Many other relatives and close friends including the Coutain and McIntyre families of Grandons, the Howell, Oliver, Mitchell, and Fleming families of Grove, the Telesford and Hall families of Pomrose, Maria and Peter Boyd, Lucy Samuel and family, Roberts and family, Nigel DeGale and family, past and present staff of the St. George's University, and friends and neighbors of Frequenty, the Limes, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Anne-Marie Joseph, also known as Valerie Coutain and Val, of the Limes Grandons, who resided at Frequenty St. George, will take place on Tuesday, 29th August at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church Grandons, and entombment will be at the Grandons Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Louise Elizabeth Sylvester née Paul of Fontenoy St. George, who resided in Canada, and at the Hills Have Eyes, Tempe St. George, passed away on Sunday, August 6, 2023, at the age of 94. She is survived by 9 children: Jocelyn Sylvester Gary, Paul Sylvester, Siddiqui Sylvester residing in Grenada, and Hazel Sylvester, Sandra Sylvester, Khalid Siddiqui, Marcia Phillip, Ian Sylvester, and Patricia Sylvester residing in Canada. In-laws Trevor Gary, Sandra Sylvester, and Kenneth Phillip. Grandmother of 32, including Akko, Mustafa, Kali, Wisai, Shani, and Rashida residing in Grenada. 41 great-grands residing in Grenada, Canada, the USA, and the United Kingdom. Sisters Joy, Olive, and Phyllis. Several nieces and nephews including Bernadette Thomas, Alison Sylvester John, Dr. Michael Greenwich, Ermentrude Sylvester, Violet Sylvester, and Dame Cecile Lagrenard, and many others in the USA, Canada, Trinidad, and in the United Kingdom. Other relatives and family, including the Sylvester families in Grenada, especially Fontenoy, in Trinidad and the USA, the Marichaud and Paul families of Grandroy, Lamode, and St. David, the Blair, Plenty, Gay, and Mackenzie families in Carriacou, the Lett and Forsyth families of St. David, and the Palmer family of Montparnassus, caregivers Paula Andrews Date, Leon Gonzalez Osborne, and Tabat Farouk, Doctors Jude Entwine and Sonia Nixon, members of the Market Hill Pentecostal Church community, and neighbors and friends of Fontenoy and Grand Mole St. George. The funeral of the late Louise Elizabeth Sylvester née Paul of Fontenoy St. George, who resided in Canada and at the Hills Have Eyes, Tempe St. George, will take place on Tuesday, August 29th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Market Hill Pentecostal Church, followed by interment at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Sylvester Carlos Allison Spare of Marion St. George passed away on Friday, August 4th, 2023, at the age of 85. He was the husband of Agnes Spare, father of Paul Francis, Mavis Paul, Hazel Ann Mapp, Lucy Ann Mitchell, Donna Williams, Ernest Blackman, Erman Julian, Glenn St. Bernard, Alison Spare Bruno, Daniel, Dolores, Alyssa and Dylan Spare, Glenda Lambert, Roger and Deborah Sween. Grandfather of 44, great-grandfather of 14, brother of Thomas Spare, Hilaria Charles and Othelia Smith, father-in-law of John Mitchell, Michael Julian, Marcus Bruno, Rochelle Spare, Ronald Lambert and Almerica Sween. Brother-in-law of 12, including Karen Spare, Erlin Belfon, Naomi Jeremiah, Brenda Ingram, Williams and Wilfred Horsford, Franklin Sween and Gertrude MacLeod. Uncle of 20, including Corny Langine, Ernie, Vibert, Sheldon and Reuben Charles, Crystalline Leake, Denise Spare and Sylvester Davidson. Caregivers Dr. Edward Marshall, Jennifer Bean Thomas and Carmi Williams. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including Pastor Philip Chase and members of the Sanctuary of Praise, Stephen and Ruby Braffett, Lyndall McSween, Abigail Smith, Cynthia Alfred, the Bowen family of Lower Manjulu, the Lewis and Charles families of Marion, Keon Lewis, Joe and Bernadette Horsford, Raymond Bruno and Bernice Harford, and friends and neighbors of Marion and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Sylvester Carlos Allison Spare of Marion St. George will take place on Tuesday, August 29th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Sanctuary of Praise, Marion St. George, and interment will be at the Manjulu Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Home. Jerry Lee R. Murray of Grenville Street, St. George's, who resided at Grand Mall, St. George, passed away on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, at the age of 36. She was the daughter of Ruby Murray and Osbert Mark, mother of Micaiah, Kashawn, Javonte, and Kayla Murray, granddaughter of Monica Mark, goddaughter of Louise Murray, sister of Jermaine, better known as Johnny, Tony, and Jasmine Murray, niece of Patricia, Stafford, Michael, Glenna, Yoland, Terence, Ricky, Oslin, Deslin, Merlin, and Devon, grandniece of Osbert Charles and Priscilla Smart, close friend of Richard Regis. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends, including Jerry, Paul, Rhea, Shakima, Nadine, Nola, the 2003 graduating class of the Boca Secondary School, the staff of SOG Foods, Amalgamated Security Services, the Murray, Mark, Smart, and Regis families, Roxy, Alexander, Otis, Trooper, Kimberly Austin, and friends and neighbors of Grenville Street and Grand Mall, St. George. The funeral of the late Jerry Lee R. Murray of Grenville Street, St. George's, who resided at Grand Mall, St. George, will take place on Wednesday, August 30th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's, according to Seventh-day Adventist rites, and interment will be at the St. George's Center Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Home. Matthew Lucas, also known as Peck and Steady, of Pedmotar, St. David, died on Monday, August 7th, 2023, at the age of 82. Left to mourn are his children Sharon, Charmin and Dexter Thomas, Janice Francis, Lashley Joseph, Janelle and Kevin Lowe, Keith Nelson, Evelyn Charles, and Jamila Richards. Brothers and sisters Mary, Brenda, Valerie, Ota, Gussie James, and Sherlan in the USA, Gregory and Ashley in Trinidad. 30 grandchildren, 17 great-grands. Nieces and nephews Rolda, Sally, Slefon, Ralph James, and Paula Greenwich. Sisters-in-law Maureen Gilbert and Myrtle in Trinidad. Son-in-law Valen Francis. Daughter-in-law Marcia Nelson. Close friends and relatives including Matthew McQueen and family, Dennis Licorice and family, Deanne Mapson, Stephen Joseph, Jacqueline Victor and family, Paula James and family, Carl and Agnes Cherubin and family, Eileen Stephen and family, the Lucas family of Laborie, the Thomas family of Pedmotar, Keith Batiste, and friends and neighbors of Pedmotar and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Matthew Lucas, also known as Peck and Steady, of Pedmotar St. David, will take place on Wednesday, August 30th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Dominic's Roman Catholic Church, Pedmotar St. David, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, Pedmotar. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Robert George, also known as Robbie and Ghetto Sauce of Grand Anse St. George, passed away on Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. At the age of 33. Left to mourn are his parents Keith George and Carol Stephen, siblings Reuben, Sheldonna, and Jamar Abraham, grandmother Bernadette Stephen, uncles Patrick, Lambert in the USA, Dunbar, Elton, Micah, William, and Wilton, all in Grenada. Aunties Claudette, Celia, Aisha, Tessa, Jean, Marva, Antoinette, Claudia, and Eula in the USA, Ursula in Trinidad, and Eugene in Canada. Nieces Asha and Acacia George. Grandaunts Alexandra and Antoinette Bailey. Granduncle Lyndon Stephen in Trinidad. Many cousins too numerous to mention. Close friend Andrea John. Many other relatives and friends including the George, Stephen, Samuel and Rogers families in Grenada, St. Vincent, Trinidad in the USA, Nurse Lord and the Modeste family of Grandaunts, the McIntyre family of Telescope, the pastor and members of Faith Deliverance Tabernacle, Rima, the People of Destiny Freedom Center, the Boys on the Block at Scraw, Lawson's Shop Roll Cooled family, and friends and neighbors of Grandans Valley, Montu and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Robert George, also known as Robbie and Ghetto Sauce, of Grandans St. George, will take place on Wednesday, August 30th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Faith Deliverance Tabernacle, Rima, Montu, St. George, and interment will be at the Grandans Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Vanita Thomas, also known as Duru and Big V of Vendome, who resided at Annandale St. George, passed away on Thursday, 17th August, at the age of 58. Left to mourn are her mother, Ruby Roberts. Son, Andre Thomas, residing in the USA. Daughter, Danasha Thomas. Brothers, Ronnie Spiceman Thomas and Clement Thomas, residing in Trinidad, and Garfield Francis, residing in the USA. Sisters, Irma Thomas Joseph, residing in Trinidad. Veronica Wilma Conwell, residing in the UK. Marcel Stevens, Glenda, Janice, Ingrid Francis, and Viola Thomas Carter. 5 grandchildren, Andre, Ayana, Christine, Akil Thomas, residing in the US, and Nyla Thomas. Daughter-in-law, Christania Simplis, residing in the USA. Brothers-in-law, Glenroy Joseph, Austin Conwell, and Mervyn Carter. Sisters-in-law, Celia Thomas and Gillian Francis. Uncle of George Thomas. Aunt Louina Thomas, Monica Frederick, residing in the USA, and Alberta Gittins. 31 nieces and nephews including Chantel and Jace Thomas, Brittany Regis, and Leva Thomas. Close friends of Gary Crow, Glendalyn Felix, Carolyn Aid, Richie, and the boys. Caretaker, Avis Bridgman. Other relatives and friends including William Crow, June Straker, Carter, Ambrose, Hamid, Rena Joseph, Pamela Regis, Nadia Francis Sandy and family, the Baptiste family of Latant, Dr. Kit Mitchell and family of Happy Hill, Thomas and Francis families of Vendome. The funeral of the late Vanita Thomas, also known as Duru and Big V, will take place on Thursday, 31st August at 2 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Vendome Community Center, St. George, and the interment will be at the Vendome Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. John Curtis Adams, also known as Mr. Curtis of Rousseau St. Patrick, who resided in Shepherd's Bush, London, England, passed away on Monday, 26th June, at the age of 89. Left to mourn his goddaughter, Leah Finder Fletcher Fraser, brother of Dominic in the USA, Clement in Grenada, and Darrell in Trinidad, Edward, Charlie, and Cynthia. Adopted brother of Liston Fraser, brothers-in-law of Marjorie Adams and Louisa. Uncle of many in Grenada, Trinidad, and the USA including Lyntia, Berlin, Mark, Grace, Gregory, Sion, and Clarence. Grand-uncle of many in Grenada, Trinidad, and the USA including Nick, Rachel, and Andrea. Other relatives and close friends including Julie Fletcher, Lynn Barito, Mrs. Amen Peters, Mrs. Barry, Gemma George, friends and neighbors in the USA, England, Dukines, Samaritan, Prospect, Resource and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late John Curtis Adams, also known as Mr. Curtis of Resource St. Patrick, who resided in Shepherd's Bush, London, England, will take place on Thursday, 31st August at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Dukines Roman Catholic Church, St. Mark, and the interment will be at the Marley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Monica Agatha John Keeve, also known as Monix, of Grandon St. George, who resided in the United Kingdom, passed away on Friday, 28th July 2023, at the age of 67. She was the daughter of Joseph Baker, mother of Nicola, Christopher, Andre, and Bernice, grandmother of Cheyenne, Ayana, Rukaya, Shane, Shomari, Benji, and Noah Kamali, sister of Godfrey in the USA, Michael, Bishop Simon John, Brian and Terence in the United Kingdom, Teresa Yvette Charles, Gloria John Purcell, and Christine John, sister-in-law of Jenny and Joan John, ASP Elian Purcell, and Glenna Pilgrim, aunt of P.C. Dwayne John, Wendell John, Saliet John Charles, Ellington, Terry, Josephine, Malima, Wendy, Michelle, and Kathura Pilgrim, niece of Sylvia Ferguson. Many cousins, other relatives, and close friends, including Mrs. Dossier John, Sandra Purcell, Violet John, the John family of Grandons and Latante, the Charles, John, and LeBarry families, Mrs. Joan Grimes and the Barker family of Grandons, Leslie LeBarry and family, and Philip John, and friends and neighbors in the United Kingdom and at Grandons and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Monica Agatha John Keeve, also known as Monix, of Grandon St. George, who resided in the United Kingdom, will take place on Thursday, August 31st at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grandons Baptist Church, and entombment will be at the Grandons Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Dexter Raphael Steele of Bellevue, South Carriacou, passed away on Thursday, July 20th, 2023 in Trinidad, at the age of 54. He was the husband of Anne Steele, father of Dariel and Darius Steele, son of Bernard and Maria Steele, grandson of Elijah Thompson, brother of Darren, Chad, Sherry, and Joy, nephew of Spanish, Johnny, Franklin, Martin, Bernadette, Aneltha, Phyllis, Joan, Pinky, Lily, Tetta, Vita, and Angela, uncle of Brittany, cousin of many including Joy and Joan, brother-in-law of many including Annette, Margaret, Stephanie, and Christine Raleigh. Many other relatives and friends including Dennis, Ian, Jamie, Kellon, Jamal, Donna, Deborah, Uriah, Michael, and friends and neighbors in Grenada and Carriacou. The funeral of the late Dexter Raphael Steele of Bellevue, South Carriacou, will take place on Friday, September 1st at 10 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the Leicester Catholic Church, and interment will be at the Family Cemetery, Bellevue, South Carriacou. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Randolph John Greenwich, also known as Poissy and Broku, of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Dunfermline, St. Andrew, passed away on Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, at the age of 84. He was the father of Sandra Jones in the USA, Shonda Polydor in Canada, Dexter Charles, Leroy and Junior in Grenada, Joey and Glenn in the USA, and Amoy Abraham. Grandfather of 29, including Jermaine Abraham, Keisha Martin Modeste, Kira Nayak, Kishon, Godlin and Kimon Martin, Kishana Harris, Jonelle Millett, Brendan Joseph, Jeffrey and Jeremy Williams, Michaela Bruno, Joey Ann Williams, Cherish Bishop, Navea and Jumaine Williams. Great-grandfather of 16, brother of Lawrence, also known as Dick, Lincoln and Rudolph in Trinidad, Agnes Seegers in the USA, Dominic, also known as Domo, and Denise Greenwich Decoto in Grenada. Father-in-law of Augustus Jones, brother-in-law of Yvonne Greenwich in Trinidad, Aldolcia George, Claudette Wickham, Jacqueline Abraham, Reginald Decoto, Vincent Charles and Rodney Charles. Many nieces and nephews, including Judith, Celia, Glenn, Jude, Tyrone, Tony, and Junior. Niece-in-law and caretakers Cindy MacDonald and Katisha Chaiton. Many other close family and friends, including the Greenwich, Abraham, Williams, Charles, Telesford, Mitchell, Mackenzie, Jeffrey, Walters, and Filbert families, past and present employees of Grenlec, and friends and neighbors of Dunfermline, Pearls, Paradise, Seamoon, Mount Horn, and Windsor Forest. The funeral of the late Randolph John Greenwich of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Dunfermline, St. Andrew, will take place on Wednesday, September 6th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Paradise RC Church, and interment will be at the Dunfermline Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Home. Charmaine Nicole Mark, née Penny, of Boca St. George, who resided in Trinidad, passed away on Tuesday, 22nd August 2023 in Trinidad at the age of 49. The funeral arrangements for the late Charmaine Nicole Mark, née Penny, of Boca St. George, who resided in Trinidad, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Home. Agneta Elizabeth Felix, also known as Celeste, of Latente St. David, passed away on Saturday, 26th August 2023 at the age of 80. The funeral arrangements for the late Agneta Elizabeth Felix, also known as Celeste, of Latente St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Home. Vondel Cyrus George of Latost, who resided at Lamode St. Patrick, passed away on Sunday, August 13th, 2023, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Vondel Cyrus George of Latost, who resided at Lamode St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lackwell Brothers Funeral Home. Shamel Alexis of Syracuse St. David, who resided at Mount Kumar St. George, passed away on Monday, 21st August 2023, at the age of 33. The funeral arrangements for the late Shamel Alexis of Syracuse St. David, who resided at Mount Kumar St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Felicia Lucinta Cador of Montu St. George, who resided in the United Kingdom, passed away on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, at the age of 29. The funeral arrangements for the late Felicia Lucinta Cador of Montu St. George, who resided in the United Kingdom, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Philip Augustine George of Pedmotar St. David passed away on Saturday, 19th August 2023, at the age of 50. The funeral arrangements for the late Philip Augustine George of Pedmotar St. David will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Ethelene V. Richardson of Nunperel St. Mark passed away on Saturday, August 5th, 2023, at the age of 74. The funeral arrangements for the late Ethelene V. Richardson of Nunperel St. Mark will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Crofton Alston St. Louis, also known as Cruffy, of Sater St. Patrick, who resided at Westerhall St. David and in England, passed away on Sunday 13th August 2023, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Crofton Alston St. Louis, also known as Cruffy, of Sater St. Patrick, who resided at Westerhall St. David and in England, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Lennon Haling, also known as I Know, of St. Paul St. George, passed away on Monday 14th August 2023, at the age of 37. The funeral arrangements for the late Lennon Haling, also known as I Know, of St. Paul St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Mary Elizabeth Sylvester, also known as Dulcie Sylvester, of Mount Craven St. Patrick, who resided at Defoe Springs St. George, passed away on Friday 18th August 2023, at the age of 91. The funeral arrangements for the late Mary Elizabeth Sylvester, also known as Dulcie Sylvester of Mount Craven St. Patrick, who resided at Defoe Springs St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Teresa Dorcas Mason, also known as Granny and Ma'a, of Guave Estate St. John, passed away on Saturday 19th August 2023, at the age of 91. The funeral arrangements for the late Teresa Dorcas Mason, also known as Granny and Ma'a, of Guave Estate St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Thomas Mitchell, also known as Zuku, of Latente St. David, passed away on Tuesday 11th July 2023, at the age of 56. The funeral arrangements for the late Thomas Mitchell, also known as Zuku, of Latente St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Mary Henry Lett, also known as Tanty Mary, of Upper Capitol Birchgrove St. Andrew, who resided at Vincent St. David, passed away on Monday 14th August 2023, at the age of 78. The funeral arrangements for the late Mary Henry Lett, also known as Tanty Mary, of Upper Capitol Birchgrove St. Andrew, who resided at Vincent St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Police Constable 430 Leon James Cox, also known as Foot, of Lassager St. David, attached to the Port Police Station, passed away on Thursday, August 10th, 2023, at the age of 56. The funeral arrangements for the late Police Constable 430 Leon James Cox, also known as Foot, of Lassager St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. John Chesterfield Marast, of Upper St. John St. Andrew, who resided at Springs St. George, passed away on Sunday 13th August 2023, at the age of 76. The funeral arrangements for the late John Chesterfield Marast, of Upper St. John St. Andrew, who resided at Springs St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Lucia Smart, also known as Lucia Jeffrey, of Shantymel St. Patrick, died on Tuesday, August 8th, 2023, at the age of 93. The funeral arrangements for the late Lucia Smart, also known as Lucia Jeffrey, of Shantymel St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Eslyn Paisody, also known as May, of Clogier St. John, who resided at Grand Anse Valley, St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 8th August 2023, at the age of 63. The funeral arrangements for the late Eslyn Paisody, also known as May, of Clogier St. John, who resided at Grand Anse Valley, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Ralph Regis, also known as Ralph Hutchinson, and Redwood and Yellow of Grand Bras St. Andrew, died on Sunday, August 6, 2023, at the age of 58. The funeral arrangements for the late Ralph Regis, also known as Ralph Hutchinson, and Redwood and Yellow of Grand Bras St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. In loving memory of our beloved mother, Phyllis Virginia Paul of Latone St. David, who left us on August 20th, 2021, at the age of 87. This tribute is from her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Mom, you will always be in our hearts as you continue to rest in perfect peace. Mom, your life was a blessing, your memory a treasure. You were loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. Funeral arrangements were entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.